After most of a year since sending in the application, the trip was ready to go. We got to JFK and boarded an Emirates A380. Following the 8-hour flight, we arrived at Milan and boarded the bus for Madonna2025. After 2 hours of heading east on Autostrada A4, we made a rest stop before heading north into the mountains. The scenery got much better. This is Lago d'Idro. And finally, we saw snow on the mountains. Four and 3/4 hours after leaving Milan, we arrived at the Hotel Ideal. Our room was large, with no windows but doors leading to 2 balconies. From the southern balcony, you could see the peak at Pinzolo. And from the western one, you can see the Cinque Laghi and Pradolago gondolas. There's a lot to ski at Madonna2025. Lifts connected to 2 other areas, Folgardia Marleva in the north and Pinzolo in the south. Together, the 3 areas span more than 11 miles. Since the closest lifts were almost half a mile away, we used the hotel's shuttle to access them. The first morning, we went to the Cinque Laghi gondola where we got our passes. The trail map is complex. From the gondola, we skied to the Paticos chair and then to the bottom of one of the steeper slopes. Seeing the Pancugolo slope, we couldn't resist taking a ride up. From the top of the chair, we got a great view of the other side of the valley, where we planned to head. Our next lift ride would start down there in the town. To get to it, we'd have to ski over the highway and under a road. From the top of Pradolago, we skied down to the Grosta Express gondola. Over the highway once more via a bridge with a magic carpet going the other way. The gondola took us up to the highest skiing at Madonna, broad snowfields including a huge snow park. The highest lift here tops out at 3,300 feet above the town, 8,200 feet above sea level. We stopped inside Refugio Stepani for lunch. Then we headed back out to take another run on the snowfields and work our way over to Spinali. Finally, we returned to town via Pista 70, Spinali Direttissima. The trail is consistently steep, but the last pitch is the steepest. The following morning, we decided we wanted to ski a lot more of the slopes at Spinali, so we headed up that gondola with my video camera. We paused at the top for photos. As I was tightening my camera's helmet mount, I managed to break it. This is me looking at it in disgust. I put my camera away and was forced to take my phone out because it was Carnival week and we had happened upon the start of Madonna's Imperial Ski Parade. I learned too late that anyone can join the parade by renting a princess costume and a ski instructor as your prince.
They're moving.
And then the second team started.
No skiing skills required. Make sure they're warm front.
Not wanting to follow the parade crowd, we went for the steeper Nubedoro slopes. Then, having given the crowd a good head start, we headed for the snowfields once more. The lift lines here caused us to reconsider our options. We decided to go back to Nubedoro. That's the Spinale Peak ahead. We skied there a while longer and then stopped for lunch at Ristorante Malga Montagnoli. After lunch, we took a few more runs on Nubedoro, then headed back to Spinale de Rettisima, where we subjected ourselves to a very slow chairlift ride. Turned out to be the one that the tobogganers use. We finished with a run back to town. On Tuesday, we went to ski at Pinzolo. There are no ski trails from Madonna to Pinzolo. A gondola runs there from Paracos, a bit more than halfway down from the Sincalaghi lift. The ride takes 15 minutes, then there's a 5-minute chairlift ride to Mont Royal before you can start skiing. We skied a few runs before I pulled out my camera.
We're going to try 108.
108?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go 108.
Soft
And
ankle.
smile, guys. You're on the camera.
That's Trail 113, one of the steepest trails we skied here. The only trouble with it is that it takes close to half an hour, including 2 lift rides, to get back to it.
That was pretty steep to me.
Were we there earlier?
No, that's a lot steeper than what we were on before.
It's a beaut.
Wowee.
Yeah.
That's got some pitch.
We continued on down 108.
Is that the what we just got off now? Is that the what we just got off now? No, it's over there. Right, the gondola that we just rode up? Yeah. Before we got on the shore? Right, the gondola that we just rode up? Yeah. Before we got on the shore?
Yeah, this one stops here.
Oh, okay. Before we get on the shore?
Yeah, this one stops here.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to orient, like that one over there.
Still on 108. We stopped for lunch at Dos de Sabion, Pinzolo's Peak. We ordered and sat outside, enjoying the views and our food. Then we skied 113 and other trails we'd missed, before heading back to Patacos and the hotel. Wednesday, we went to Maraleva. It took an hour, including 4 lift rides, to get there. We were generally unimpressed with the crowded slopes we found. We skipped Folgardia since none of those trails looked interesting on our maps. We had a nice lunch at Refugio Orti and headed back to Madonna. At the start of Pista 10, we found another beautiful vista. We stopped for photos. From here you could see the Grosta snowfields, Spinale and the New Douro slopes, the peak at Pinzolo, 7 miles away, and the top of Lift 35, the next on our way back to Madonna. The way to that lift is Pista 10. The trail was moguled and enough fun we did it a second time. We finished with runs on Cincolaghi and Patacos.
That way? That way, the blue trail.
Straight
The one on
down.
the right, correct? Yeah,
One on the right?
yeah, well, straight. Yeah, straight. Where the 3 people are.
Thursday, we went back to Spinale and the snowfields. There's Pista 10, where the previous day's pictures were taken. The quickest way from Spinale to the snowfields is via Pista 71 and 60. Although in places it's not so quick. Still, trails can quickly become more interesting.
Very tricky. Well, the off-piste is pretty shiny.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, sparkly too.
They gave it a buffing over there.
Yeah.
At least we're in the warm sunshine.
Beautiful day.
Every day is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the top of Lift 47, the Grosta chairlift, the highest lift in Madonna and the start of what I've been calling the snowfields. After a couple of runs, we took a break to answer nature's call and search the map for places we hadn't skied yet.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we're in no hurry today.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we got plenty of time.
Okay.
It's 11 o'clock.
Well,
Mark just took his boot off, so we're not going anywhere.
Well, I can put it on pretty quick.
Every time I take my left boot off, it's an adventure. I don't know whether the tongue's gonna come out by itself or with the rest of the boot.
okay. Go to the top of the little knoll there in front of the sign
Yeah.
and just take a look at the line, but I think it's miserable.
Yeah, I think so too, but you can always...
Hope.
I think we can pass.
Yeah.
Well, you want to look for a lift that doesn't have a line?
We'll take our chances on the quad that we rode up your own.
Yeah.
And if that's really bad, maybe we'll go down to the gondola. Friday morning, we took the shuttle to Colaren and then the gondola to Pinzolo. This was our last day of skiing. We skipped lunch and took the gondola back to ski at Patagos, and stopped early to pack up. In our 6 days of skiing, and with the exception of Fogardia, we managed to cover just about everything. Saturday morning, we were ready for the bus to Verona. While we had entered Madonna from the south, we left to the north, under that bridge with the magic carpet. Looking over the Nordic track area, this was our last view of the snowfields and Spinale. We turned east and then south through Trent to Verona. We started seeing vineyards, large fields of grapes everywhere. Arriving at the Montresor Hotel Palace, we unloaded our baggage into the street because the bus was too tall to manage the driveway. It had been a long time since breakfast before we got our luggage squared away. The hotel gave us directions to where we might find a meal. We walked across the canal, past the Porta San Zeno, and found the Basilica San Zeno. And nearby was the Trattoria Pizzeria. While we were the first, we weren't the only ones from our group to find it. Following lunch, we went to see where we would meet our guide for our next day's tour of the arena. We walked to and along the river, past Castel Vecchio, and found our way to the Verona Arena. Sunday morning, we did some sightseeing before our tour. The Arco dei Gavi, Romeo's house, according to the tourist maps, Piazza Bra, Fontana di Piazza Bra, Vittorio Emanuele II, 19th century King of Italy. Then it was time to meet our tour guide. She gave us information not only on the arena, but the history of the city and the reality behind Romeo and Juliet. We had lunch at Bistro Mamma Mia, where we could see both the arena and King Vittorio. On the way back to the hotel, we saw Papa del Gnocco, a leftover from Verona's Carnival. And then it was all over but the lines at JFK.